Hello, I am Dr. Asharata Shankar Teza, Associate Professor from JSS Art, Science and Commerce College, Gokak. I am here to express few ideas regarding 18th century novel, which has been the syllabus for the BA second sem, RCU University, Belgaum. A novel, properly so called, is thus a long tale portraying characters and incidents of real life. Novel is the loosest form of the literature, which is free from all the limitations imposed upon the other forms of the literary art. Novel is the effective medium for portrayal of the human thought and action. The genuine novel is found in the 18th century, which is called modern novel. It's a fiction which relates the story of a plain human life under stress of emotion, which depends for its interest not on the incidents of the adventure, but on the truth to nature. According to F. Marion Crawford, novel is a pocket theatre. There are some factors for the rise of the novel. Rise of the middle class, decline of the drama, rise of the periodical essay, wider scope for the novel, rise of the democratic government, and as there was no limitations of classicism. These are the factors. Now we have the novelist of the 18th century. Let us start with Daniel Defoe, Fanny Burney, Henry Fielding, Oliver Goldsmith, Henry Mackenzie, Tobias Smollett, Samuel Richardson, Lawrence Sterne. Let us start with the greatest novelist, Daniel Defoe. English novelist, pamphleteer, and a journalist. Daniel Defoe is best known for his novels Robinson Crusoe and Moll Flanders. Daniel Defoe was born in 1660 in London, that's in England. He became a merchant, participated in several failing business, facing bankruptcy and aggressive creditors. Defoe took new literary path in 1719 around the age of 59 when he published Robinson Crusoe, a fiction novel based on several short essays that he had composed over the years. A handful of novels followed soon after, often with rogues and criminals as lead characters, including Moll Flanders, Colonel Jack, Captain Singleton, Journal of the Plague Year, and his last major fiction piece, that is Roxana. Then we have Samuel Richardson. He has been a great English novelist who expanded the dramatic possibilities of the novel by his invention and the use of the letter form. His major novels were Pamela and Clarissa. So Clarissa has been his greatest masterpiece, where you see a heroine who is really suffering. Then we have our other major works here. He is a diligent worker who have risen from the tradesman to middle class property owner. He longed to impart what he had learned. He wrote in the book's introduction to teach the readers not only how to write elegant letters, but how to think and act justly and prudently in the common concerns of life. So we have the list here. Pamela, it is also has another name like or virtue rewarded. Pamela in her exalted condition. There are many sequels. Then Clarissa or the history of the young lady. It has different editions also. Then letters and the passages restored to Clarissa. The history of Sir Charles Grandison. Then history of Mrs. Beaumont. Then we have the case of Samuel Richardson. I replied to the criticism of Clarissa. Then we have the most interesting author, Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding was born in April 22nd, 1707, Shoreham Park, Somerset, that's in England. Died on October 8, 1754, a great novelist and a playwright, who with Samuel Richardson is considered as the founder of the English novel. Among his major novels are Joseph Andrews and Tom Jones. So you can see Tom Jones has been a masterpiece and it has been in 18 things. Then you can see Walter Scott called Henry Fielding as the father of the English novel, and phrase still indicates Fielding's place in the history of literature. We have the novels here. Shamela, The History of the Adventures of Joseph Andrews, his friend, Mr. Abraham Abrams, The Life and the Death of Jonathan Wild the Great, The History of Tom Jones, Foundling, A Journey from the World to the Next. Then we have Amelia. The next, the greatest novelist is Tobias Smollett. In full, Tobias George Smollett, baptized on March 19, 1721, then died at September 17, 1771. Scottish satirical novelist, best known for his picaresque novel, The Adventures of Roderick Random and The Adventures of Peregrine Pickle, and his epistolary novel, The Expedition of Humphrey Clinker. He is unrivaled for the pass, the vigor that sustained his comedy. He is especially a brilliant rendering of the comic characters in their externals. We have Lawrence Sterne. He is the greatest English novelist, humorist, author of Tristram Shandy, which has been an early novel in which the story is subordinate to the free associations and digressions of its narrator. He is also known for the novel A Sentimental Journey. His major publication prior to Tristram Shandy was a satire, a political romance, Sterne's novel, The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman. We have other novels, The Unknown World versus Occasioned by Hearing, Passing Bell, The Castle of Elysia, and The Widow of Jarpath, The Abuses of Conscience, a political romance. Then we have the series of Tristram Shandy. We have Henry Mackenzie. Henry Mackenzie, a Scottish novelist, playwright, poet, and the editor, whose most important novel, The Man of Feeling, is established as a major literary figure in Scotland. His work had considerable influence on Sir Walter Scott, who dedicated his Reverie novels to him in 1814. His Macbeth novel, The Man of Feeling, was a bestseller. Settling in Scotland from 1768, Mackenzie wrote two more novels, The Man of the World, portraying a villainous hero, and Julia de Robigny, imitating Richardson's Clarissa. He also wrote a play, edited two periodicals, helped and formed learned societies. We have the most interesting author here, Oliver Goldsmith, who died in April 4th, 1774. His birth was on November 10th, 1730. He is an Anglo-Irish essayist, a poet, novelist, dramatist, and a central. His notable work, the particularly novelist, The Vicar of the Wakefield. We have the important plays like She Stoops to Conquer, The Deserted Village, is a poem, The Traveller, an inquiry into the present state of polite learning in Europe. We have other works, The Citizen of the World, Letters from a Chinese Philosopher. There are some essays. Fanny Burney, the most interesting novelist. Then she was born on June 13, 1752, Norfolk, England. Died on January 6, 1840. She's an English novelist, letter writer. She's known for her notable work Avelina, then Camellia, a picture of the youth, Cecilia, or Memoirs of an Heiress. We have the Gothic novel, which is known for the terror and the horror. We have Horace Walpole. In full, Horace Walpole, 4th Earl of Oxford, original name Horatio Walpole. He was born in September 24, 1717, London, England. Died on March 2nd, 1797, in London. He's an English writer and singer. His notable work, The Castle of Otranto, is known for the Castle of Otranto. Then we have the other interesting character, William Beckford. William Beckford was born September 29, 1760 in London, that's in England. Died on May 2nd, 1844. He is an eccentric English duellist. His notable work is Vathek. We have Mrs. Anne Radcliffe here. She has been an English author and a pioneer of Gothic fiction, a technique of explaining apparently supernatural elements in her novels has been credited with gaining Gothic fiction respectability in the 1790s. We have Matthew Gregory Lewis. He was an English novelist and a dramatist whose writings are often classified as Gothic horror. He was frequently referred to as Monk Lewis because of the success of his 1796 Gothic novel, The Monk. He also worked as a diplomat, politician, and an estate owner in Jamaica. We have revolutionary novelist. We have Thomas Day, was a British author, and he was well known for the book The History of the Stanford and Merton, which emphasized Rooseveltian educational ideas. Then we have Henry Brooke. Sir Henry Brooke was a British judge. He became a Lord Justice of Appeal in 1996, became a Vice President of the Civil Division of the Court of Appeal of England and Wales in 2003. His works include The Fool of Quality, House of Fraser Holdings, Investigation and Resection of the Companies Act, 1985. We have William Godwin, was an English journalist, political philosopher, and a novelist. He is considered as one of the first exponents of the utilitarianism and the first modern proponent of anarchism. Godwin is most famous for his two books that he published within the space of a year: An Inquiry Concerning Political Justice, An Attack on Political Institutions and Things as They Are, or The Adventures of Caleb Williams, an early mystery of the novel which attacks aristocratic privilege. We have Robert Beck, was an English businessman and a novelist. The work which is chiefly read today is Armstrong. We can see the poster here. His last novel, Scott, included Mount Hanneth, Balham Downs, and James Wallace in his series of Ballantine novels. We have the conclusion. The revolutionary novelist wrote political, social, and educational novels. We have terror novelists who dealt with romance, Gothic, supernatural, and terrible objects, wonder, nature, and emphasized on individual. In this era, we have the novelists like Goldsmith, Defoe, Richardson, Fielding, Smollett, Sterne, who have reflected life as it is in the form of a story and have developed simultaneously. We have excellent characters described with grace and humor. They have depicted manners and scenery. 18th century is filled with cluster of great novelists. Novels of doctrine and didacticism also. So 18th century is rightly called famous for the prose. 18th century is filled with cluster of great novelists. We have the minor novelist, revolutionary novelist, and doctrine and didactism novelist. So we can say that Henry Fielding has been called the father of the English novel. Thank you.